Go. So this is the Combat Station with your host Ty Matthews. Today we got an interview with Cody Gibson. So Cody, your last fight was against Louis Sankondarkis, and you got a knockout in 44 seconds. What improvement? Do you feel you're still improving in your career?
Yeah, I do. I'll be 34 in about 9 days. But I still feel like I'm getting better. I just moved to a new gym last year. So I spent most of my career at a really small gym, pretty much a jiu-jitsu gym. And then I just boxed a lot. But I didn't have like an MMA gym. And now I'm at the Pit, where, Chuck Liddell kind of famously came from. And so I've been learning a lot ever since I got here. So I'm still making improvements every day.
What do you want next in your career?
The goal is to get back to a bigger show with bigger paydays. I know I've only got a couple of years, 2 or 3 years left, viably, where I'm going to be competing at a high level. So, that's the goal. It looks like I got a fight in October. I don't think I should announce it yet. Probably the promotion. It's the same promotion I fought for the last one. And it's in Miami this next time. But it's what I wanted. So it's a big name, and I'll leave it at that. But that's what's next. And I think if I can get a win in this next one, it makes me, it's going to be hard to deny me my shot back in either Bellator or the UFC.
Is there a chance, I know you can't swear it, that it may be John Dodson? Because obviously you had that fight booked before and he got injured. Is there a chance it may be a rebooking?
Maybe, yeah.
So we spoke about, you said you got a few years left at high level. How long do you reckon you have to reach to, let's say, the UFC or Bellator at high level again?
I'm hoping, if I fight in October and get a big win, that by the end of the year, early next year, my next fight will be in one of those two promotions. I think I make a strong case for it, and the reality is I'm not getting any younger, so I can't dabble on the smaller scene for too much longer. I feel good, physically, and just, I think I'm at a good crossroads, like between my age and experience, like I still physically feel pretty good. I don't feel like I've slowed down much. And then all the experience. So it's kind of a good crossroads. I feel like, I might not be necessarily in my prime athletically anymore, although I don't really feel like I've lost a step. But I've definitely gained a lot of experience and just being comfortable in the cage. And so I feel like, I don't know, maybe it is my prime. I don't think myself at 22 would beat myself right now at almost 34. If you look at it that way, then I guess I would consider myself kind of in my prime, but I know it's got to happen sooner than later.
Do you think you can make it to, say if you get a win here, do you think you'll get to maybe a Dana White Contender Series? Is that a goal you're looking for, maybe?
I'll take any opportunity I can get. That's not, you typically they like the younger, 5-0, 6-0, 7-0 guys. They've had a couple of veterans on there. I know Dustin Jacoby, who's kind of been making a good run in the UFC, and obviously his glory days, he was a hell of a kickboxer, but he came off there, and there's a couple other veterans they had on there, but the last couple of seasons, they've just been having younger guys. So I don't know if that's my route or just re-signing. I'm just trying to stay ready and keep my weight down so that if any opportunity presents itself, I'm always in Sean Shelby's ears. So
on your record, I noticed you had a fight with Aljamain Sterling. So I have to ask, obviously, with Aljamain, Piotr Jan 2 being booked, who do you see winning that fight, obviously, after the controversial first fight?
Well, I think any of us have to base that opinion off of is what we saw in the first fight, which wasn't that long ago. And to me, it looked like, Peter Yan was keeping the fight on the feet. Aljamain was having trouble getting him down, and Yan was getting the better in the striking. I'd have to go back and watch it, but I remember, and I've only watched it one time, but I just remember when that fight ended, or right before that fight ended, it looked like Yan was well on his way to a victory. So I'm sure Aljamain will make some adjustments and try to make some improvements the second time. And I wouldn't put it past him. He's a smart fighter. He's a smart guy. I think he has a better chance in the second fight than he did in the first one. But yeah, Peter Yan's a savage. Like that guy, he's good everywhere. His boxing's crisp. His movements, really well. He moves really well. So yeah, I'd have to if I was a betting man, I'd definitely go with Peter Yan.
This is just came to me a bit. Obviously, with Aljamain Sterling, how he got kneed and he went down. Do you think he quit? I was just trying to see from a fighter's opinion.
I mean, only he. I don't know. He did say some things afterwards, like it ran through his mind that if he either was going to continue, he just said something to the effect of like, if it was a DQ, I know I wasn't going to get another title shot, but if it was a no contest, I know I wasn't going to get another title shot, but if it's a DQ, he knew they would have to give him a title shot. And I can see where he's coming from there. The UFC's never really, and he'll tell you this, has never really favored him or done him any favors. So from that perspective, and at the end of the day, we're prize fighters trying to make as much money as we can. But as far as how hurt he was, I mean, that was a nasty knee. And it was a weird, if I remember right, it was weird how they like didn't give him the full time. It was like, I don't know if he, he knows, how hurt he was. But at the end of the day, like Peter Yan needed him when he was clearly on his knees. So, that's something that you don't expect to see at that level, making those types of kind of rookie mistakes. So it is what it is. We're going to see it run back and we'll find out who the best 135 pounder is.
Just one more question before you wrap up. What is your best moment in your career so far, would you say? And would you say your biggest regret is?
Oh man. I think probably the moment that I felt the best was winning a fight actually on the regional scene. I won the Tachi Palace Championship, and I had to really dig deep in that fight. And the guy I was fighting, he was an old wrestling foe who we'd wrestled in college a few times, and his style, he kept ducking his head, and I poked him in the eye like twice. It was like round 2 and 3, or round 1 and 3, so they were separated by a couple of rounds. But just his style, and I just was having trouble, not poking him in the eye. I wasn't like intentionally doing it. I wasn't doing the John Jones like this, but I don't know what it was. I haven't ever had that issue in fights really. But I did. I poked him in the eye on accident the first time, and then a couple of rounds passed, and then it happened again, and they took a point from me. And I didn't think the point was warranted. The commentators thought it was kind of bogus that I got the point taken away. But it fired me up, man, and I came out and really brought the dog out, and I was able to get the win. So for me, that was just that adversity and being able to come back and get the win. That was a big moment for me. And I never actually won a title before in fighting on any stage. So not that I care that much about the belt, but it was nice to kind of overcome that adversity. So that was a big moment for me. As far as my biggest regret, I think just looking back on my time in the UFC, not that I regret the experience or anything, but just, I think things happen for a reason, but, I didn't have a lot of confidence going in there. I had a lot of self-doubt. I was coming from a very small school. I didn't have a lot of other fighters around me. It wasn't like I had someone to look up to that was a fighter that had done it all and could kind of guide me through the process. I was kind of just on my own. I mean, I had my coaches, but I had a boxing coach and a jiu-jitsu coach. They didn't even really coach mixed martial arts all that much. So, and I just had a lot of self-doubt, and I think if I'd have believed in myself a little bit more, and I'm not talking about like that external belief, like you say to people, I mean, like that real internal, like belief in yourself. And I didn't have that. And I think that kind of was the thing that kind of hurt me. So I don't know if it's a regret. I think things happen for a reason, but definitely something I'm looking to get back if I can get back to that level. in that promotion or Bellator. And now that I feel like I do have that confidence. So, I'm excited to see what I can do in there.
Well, mate, it's been a pleasure having you on. Thank you for your time. And hopefully when you get your fight announced, we can get you back on.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you having me, man. Take care.
Thank you, mate.